How do I deal with the smell of my girlfriend's private area without sounding like a complete jerk? So I love everything about this girl. Great personality, beautiful, and just great to be around and spend time with. Last night we had sex for the first time and I know that she had showered when we first got back to my place. We were making out, which led to me going down there to eat her out, and it was pretty bad. Like that classic fish smell that people talk about. I've never encountered that before. I just powered through and still had great sex, but woke up smelling terrible. I felt like I've been smelling it all day, like it's somehow stuck in my nose. What can I do about this? I'm going to stay with her either way because I don't think it's worth losing her over, but I know it is going to be tough to deal with, especially since this is only the first time we had sex. Everyone out here playing doctor, when what you were really asking is how to have the conversation. I love you and always want to be helpful and truthful, but there's something I'd like to bring up that is going to be a bit sensitive and uncomfortable for you. So I'm just going to be completely direct. I hope that's okay. Please don't be embarrassed, but I think it might be a good idea if you were to see a gynecologist. Goddamn, that's uncomfortable, but I think being sensitively direct is the best way. Maybe she has bacterial vaginosis. Easily treatable, suggest that she go to gyno? Does not need to smell like that. That smell is a sign something is wrong. I would approach her saying you're concerned she might have a yeast infection health issue. Definitely an infection. Tell her gently that you're concerned about her health and suggest she visits the gyno. I work in reproductive health. Sounds like BV to me, which can happen when the pH of the vagina is thrown off. Different folks have different triggers, some people it can be a hormonal thing, or using soap, wearing the wrong kind of underwear, etc. And antibiotic cream will clear it up in a few days. It's not really a big deal, though some folks can be really sensitive about it. So good luck with bringing it up in a tactful way. Please don't suggest feminine wash, most of them are horrible for the vagina. She should be washing the outer area with a gentle soap and the inner with water only. But this isn't a cleaning issue. I agree she has an infection. You can even make up that someone you were with before had the same issue and it was easily treated, so you don't have to tell her you told Reddit she smells bad. I had this with my ex. I gave it a couple more attempts, but after 3/4 more times between the sheets I just had to be honest with her and brought it up as softly and plainly as possible. From then on she would be more attentive to that area before sexy time and the problem completely disappeared. I can only draw on this one time where she was extremely receptive to the issue, and maybe other girls will have a different reaction. Good luck. A trip to the gyno is in order. It shouldn't smell bad like that. There's something wrong. Most likely very minor and easily treated. Could be an infection, or her pH could be out of whack. A lot of women don't realize that they should be washing down there with pH-balanced soap instead of regular soap. It can make a difference. Gently bring it up, make sure she knows you care about her and just want to help her resolve it as well. She can see a doctor and try out a pH-balanced soap in the future down there. Good luck. People have already given you great advice on how to approach this convo, and made you aware it is likely a medical issue, but I just wanted to add that you really shouldn't continue with sex with a girl if you notice a distinct odor down there like the fishy smell you described. Even if it's not an STI, it means something is clearly wrong and you shouldn't be putting the health of your peen at risk for some pleasure. If the scenario ever comes up again, don't be afraid to stop the sexy time right then and there. I asked a doctor my friend knows. He said it could be bacterial vaginosis, vaginitis, vaginal yeast infection, pelvic inflammatory disease, or a yeast infection. He said she should see her gynecologist. Definitely tell her. My mom has had this problem. Not always an infection, but she was able to get things balanced and better. I'd definitely let her know out of concern for her health. Maybe let her know via text. I feel like that saves some embarrassment and gives her time to process. But that might just be my preference. I'd say, hey, really enjoyed my night with you. I really like you, but I have something kinda sensitive I wanted to bring up. I noticed a strong vaginal odor and debated even saying anything. But I figured I should let you know in case you had something medical going on you might not even know about. I really, really like you and want to keep things going. I hope it's okay I brought this up with you. And I'd hope you tell me if you ever noticed anything about me. Suggest that you both get tested for STDs, as that's the responsible thing to do after starting a serious relationship. They'll find it there. This is my suggestion. Don't say anything this time. Wait a day and do it again. Then you say, babe, you are so gorgeous and sexy and I had such a great time last night. I noticed that things tasted different than the last time we did it and I am worried that you might have an infection starting or something. My logic is that it saves her from thinking that she had an infection and tasted weird for your first time together. Also then you seem more caring and less jerky. Sounds like BV, or potentially has she just started on a new birth control? Sometimes that can throw your hormones into a bit of a loop and make you smell funky for a while. I saw someone earlier say you can claim an ex had the same and it was BV, which I think may be a good way of addressing it without shaming her. I used to have this problem. It was a bacterial infection and I started taking grapefruit seed extract and it's completely gone away. I take 1 dose every day and it's literally so fresh down there. She has bacterial vaginosis. She needs to get a prescription from an OBGYN. I've had this issue before. That's exactly what it smells like. It's disgusting, but goes away super quickly with treatment. It's not an STD, but don't go down on her and wear a condom because it's bacterial buildup. Sorry for the TMI, but since I've dealt with it and my ex made a comment LMAO, I'm pretty sure this is what it is. It's very common. Short, kind and direct. I love what we did last night but need to mention I noticed an odor that might be worth getting checked at the doc. I def want to keep doing that a lot and just want to check that everything is in balance pH-wise and flora-wise for you. Everyone is saying yeast or bacteria infection, but it smells fishy if it's not washed properly also. Just say it. You should be diplomatic about it though. Try, hey, I don't know the best way to say this, but I enjoy your company and would like to enjoy it even more. I noticed you have a very strong scent during sex. Is everything okay and have you seen a gynecologist about it? If she gets upset, just reiterate that you don't mean to offend. That's the best you can do. I've had this problem once when I first started having sex when I was a teenager. I was drinking and forgot I was on my period and had sex with my boyfriend ex. The tampon got pushed up inside of me for days. I could have died truthfully. But I knew something was wrong when I started smelling a fishy smell. Went to my doctor and he found it way up inside. So I would tell her that something might be wrong if she's smelling like that. It's hard to tell a woman that, but I'm sure she will thank you later. Wow, where was this question 20 or so years ago? Yuck, I never ever brought it up with the wife because I thought it was such a sensitive thing and that I would hurt her feelings. Fearful face. That's not normal and she needs to see a drive. Her pH balance is def off. Just tell her. Reassure her your feelings and she doesn't need to be embarrassed but that she should go see a doctor and you'll be happy to go with her if she would like. Relationships become stronger by being open and communicating. Mention to your girl that something may be going on. Generally we do not smell like the stereotypical fish smell. That smell is indicative of an infection of some type, bacterial vaginosis or trichomoniasis, which is an STD. But it can lay dormant for a long damn time, are the usual culprits. It'll embarrass her. We all know it will. So just prep yourself for her embarrassment, framing it like you're concerned for her health, because it isn't just a smell. That shit is uncomfortable at the very least is the way to go here. And if insurance is an issue, if you're in the US, PP treats this. Maybe it isn't as bad as you think. Maybe she has an odor that you are sensitive to. The next morning did she tell you that you had a stinky face? This is an easy fix most don't know about. In the shower use soup regular and when done get apple cider vinegar and can use a squirt bottle and put it all over their butt area too and leave for a min or two, rinse and go about day. Not only will you be squeaky clean down, there's zero odor of any kind and no infections. Can do this every 3 days or daily if they feel uncomfortable or extra sweaty. It's natural and an old remedy I learned and let me tell you it's guaranteed. If it's still terrible, go to gyne. She might have a sexual disease or a bad discharge. Best thing fo do it sending her a message being polite but straightforward. Sounds like trichomoniasis. I think vagines are pretty gross. Could be bacterial. She should go see her GYN and get a cervical exam. Could be bacterial vaginosis. Check number 6. A lot of women don't know they smell, or it's a medical issue. Personally, I would like to know if I smelled, so I think it's smart to tell her in the nicest way possible, even offer to go with her to buy feminine products, or to the doctor if it comes to be medical. But it's not a normal smell a woman should have. But go about it the nicest way to make her know you care and aren't being a jerk. Lol, it's normal. And the smell is stronger when a girl is on her cycle. She just need to clean herself after intercourse. I can smell girls' vajayjay after they urinate, the smell is strong. Lol, that's why there's wipes for us ladies to use after each bathroom use. Provided you're male, please understand a man ejaculated protein-rich substance that causes a bad smell in your girl's groin. If you have an active sex life, it may be you causing the smell. No amount of showers will help, but bathing works a little bit better. I'm going to second this could be a medical issue, people, and for the sake of saving her embarrassment, the people who recommend pointing out that things were different a second or third time around. Changes in people's smell in general often herald some sort of burgeoning medical issue. I remember in high school someone at the lunch table finally started getting freaky with his girlfriend, and he so proudly tells us, boys, let me tell ya, sex is awesome, but when you go down there, you gotta deal with the smell, and it's not good, but trust me, it's so worth it. 3 or 4 of us had already had sex, and looked around giving I have not found that to be the case, kind of look. Funny and awkward as hell. A lot of comments covering a lot of good information, so I'm going to only address one issue from your post. You say it was your first time having sex with this girl. Sometimes the first couple of times having sex with someone new, there can be some really strong odors afterwards. If it doesn't go away after a couple of times, then yes to all of the above. That's not normal. She could have an infection, or be really close to her cycle starting. Just tell her, that's what I do with my wife. Last time it happened, she actually did have a yeast infection. Fishy smell? Oh yeah, hello BV. Edit, you could try. Babe, last night I noticed that you tasted different than usual. I am worried that it could be a sign of BV. Did you notice anything different recently? I love you and I worry for your health. How would you feel about letting it get checked? I fully expect my partner to tell me if he notices anything off. It's a hard conversation, but his perspective could alert me to something that I need to know about, and it's just as important the other way around, too. My girlfriend says she likely has a bacterial infection called bacterial vaginitis. It causes the smell, but there are no other symptoms. No itch or anything else. Antibiotics are the only cure. If the smell was that bad, then there must be something wrong with her and she needs to see a doctor to check whether she has infections or not. Talk to her with honesty that you are concerned about her health than anything else, and better if she sees the doctor to check whether everything is right with her down there or not. This might be a sensitive subject for her and she may not let you go down on her again thinking you do not like it, but if she is a mature girl, then she will not make this a big deal, rather she will take right steps to address it. Let her know that you love to go down on her as you enjoyed your time there, but the smell was something you are worried about as it indicates about her health, so she needs to address it. Fake a yeast infection and say she should get tested as well. That way if she has it, it's sorted and probably works out a little less awkward. I don't think there's any easy way to tell your girl her PSAY stinks LMAO. Fishy smell equals BV and doughy yogurt smell equals yeast infection. Does she have some kind of infection? If it smells that bad and she has showered, there may be something wrong. She may need to go to the doctor. But I don't how you would bring that up. Tell her, she may have a chemical imbalance or some other medical reason. Tell her it's not a deal breaker, but she needs to take care of that. Maybe see a OBGYN. Sometimes diet affects the smell of genital region. Maybe research that. Of sex in the shower. I mean, has it always been like that? If not, consider, your fuzzy gut usually smells great and it doesn't, so something might be wrong. If it has always been, then you gotta learn how to communicate. She probably has trich. Sounds like she has a case of BV and should definitely get checked out. On a personal note, I had a problem with it. I kept getting in when I was with the same guy and we were exclusive. I finally figured out why I kept getting it. He was not circumcised and basically kept giving it back to me. Once we both got treated, all was well. Just so you know. You need to tell her. Not only does she need to see a doctor, but it's not fair for either of you to just act like it's not a problem. Inception.